So today we've got a mod that is small in size, but potentially big in impact. This is something I bought from Mx5 Mania, made by Craven Speed, that is pretty expensive for what it is, but I've been told that this is the key to getting really good handling in the Miata. Now what we have in here is literally the most boring thing I can think of. It's a door stopper. So what we have here is polyurethane door bushings. They cost me about 115 AUD, but basically the ones that are currently in the car are rubber. And the theory behind this is that the rubber ones have a lot of play in the door. And because in a car that is a convertible, you don't have a roof to support the car. And when you don't have the door, the middle of the car is basically right here. And that flexes because it's not much, like to hold up the whole car. And these polyurethane bushings allow the door to be more rigid and therefore act as a kind of brace that's gonna make the car more stiff and handle better, hopefully. The main thing I'm looking for from this is to get less rattles in the door because it's really rattly. So as you can see here, this one's pretty old and it's a little bit worn out. So hopefully with this new one that will make it also look a little bit better, it'll also be a bit better. All for only $100 on the smallest piece of plastic I've ever bought. So we're gonna find out if these are a win or if they're a bin. Let's see them. You're gonna see them? Yeah, have a look. They look nice.
I don't know if this is gonna do anything. This is $100.
Don't judge me. They also come in red if you want to be a bit more standoutish with your $115 door bushings. So we're gonna go for a drive now with the rubber bushings so that when we later put the plastic ones on, we'll have something to compare to and see if there is any actual difference. So let's get these bad boys installed. So we're just gonna take this out, not very hard. Literally the easiest mod install ever. All right, and then, what's that? You can see the old red from before this car was painted, because whoever painted this car just painted over the door stopper. Classic. So we've just taken the old one off. As you can see here, it's looking pretty old. It's definitely had its years. It's probably been on the car since brand new. For all those at home, I just dropped the screw under the chair. Maybe. Who reads those?
What's the fun in reading?
We've got the screws in. There was a bit of room for adjustment, so I haven't fully tightened them up, but we will just see how the door fits. So let's have a look.
Oh.
That actually did feel a lot better.
No way.
Like it wasn't, I didn't slam, I didn't. Oh!
Let me do that.
It closes now! My door didn't close. No, don't slam it. Just gently close it.
What the fuck?
It gently closes now. $100 well spent.
No.
One of the problems I've had with this car for ages is you can't close the doors softly. If you try, like this. Of course it doesn't work the one time. Usually when you close the doors, if you don't slam them hard enough, they kind of get open like this. They don't really close like nicely. Like you have to kind of slam them to get them properly closed. That other door on the driver's side was the worst. That is now closing really easily, which is probably because the rubber being worn out wasn't properly getting it onto the latch. So let's try this side and see if it feels any better. Man, that's crusty. So there's the second one's on. So let's see how well the door closes. Time for the moment of truth. Now we're gonna go for a drive and see if the car feels any different. Still a little bit skeptical, but I'm hopeful. So let's go for a drive, test it out. I think it is actually better.
So,
there's no way.
thoughts so far?
Okay, I'm skeptical because I think that there's no way that it's better, but it does.
You're like, how could it be better?
Yeah, like there's no way that small thing, I can't tell if it's placebo or something.
But there's another bump just up near the clear sign.
There's definitely way less noise.
That's fucking, what?
There's so much less noise. Got my Slurpee. I'm not sponsored again, but no bubble tea today. So after going for a drive, we kind of concluded that we think this is a win actually. The car did appear to be a lot stiffer than than when we took it out this morning, and there was a lot less rattles in the door, especially going over bumps. There was almost no noise, which is fantastic. It's hard to tell though. Not very scientific in the way we did this. Not really a way to show is the car stiffer, but just from feeling it, it does definitely feel like it's stiffer. So I would call it a win. And the doors do close a lot easier, which is a problem I've always had where I have passengers, they'll close the door, but not quite close it all the way because the door was a little bit finicky to get closed. So now you don't actually have to slam them super hard to get them closed, which is already worth getting this upgraded for me, but the stiffness is really good too. And I'm glad that it did end up doing something. This isn't going to make your suspension amazing. I do have already coilovers and I do plan on getting sway bars, but it definitely is a nice addition. That's something that isn't that hard to install and is relatively cheap compared to some of those other options. Speaking of which, we might be doing sway bars soon. We'll have to see. Sway bars, I think this car definitely needs sway bars. Now, if you would like to see us putting some coilovers on, we did another video on the E46 putting on some max speeding rods, which you can see in this video here. But for now, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.